Wonder Woman's a better warrior, like she's a better fighter. But I would say maybe strength, Aquaman would maybe take it.
Yeah.
Or maybe, and that's showing him on land, because in water he's Atlantean, so he's the king. So underwater, like that's his world right there.
It's like
so when he's in
things,
his world, so like.
I know there's 3 notable scenes that I liked in the trailer about Aquaman. One scene, the first scene was him standing over that rock and those waves crashing on his back.
I agree.
That right there was really good.
Yeah.
I thought that was an awesome scene. And then another was him sort of like slow motion midair with his trident piercing those parademons.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was
You're just
really
like,
awesome.
yes.
Yep. Yeah.
Like you're not showing him with this like punching anybody. You're like, this guy has a weapon and he's not afraid to
he's
use
got his
it.
trident.
Yeah.
He's just stabbing people.
So
And then another scene was the last scene with Batman in the trailer where he was like talking to Batman.
Yeah.
That was also cool.
I mean, it says something when all 3 of us agree that almost all 3 of our favorite scenes include Aquaman.
Yeah.
I mean, and you know, what does that reflect? That maybe Aquaman has all this good press in this movie. It's going to be good for Aquaman. I mean, what does that reflect? I mean, is it Zack Snyder? He's just best at setting up the scenes.
Does Jason
Are
Momoa's
those
big?
finished scenes, right? I mean, that's what I'm wondering. Are those the most finished scenes for Zack Snyder? And so that's why they're just coming out better than the other ones?
Yeah, that
I don't
makes
know.
sense. That makes sense.
because for me so far, which out of all the DCE movies, which one have we heard the least problems from?
Yeah, Aquaman.
Aquaman.
And obviously,
what
I'm
wondering.
thinking they're gonna be like, look, this is gonna be our star. This might be like, because nobody knew about Aquaman before. There's been no Aquaman movie. Like, he's been a joke.
Yeah.
And they're making this guy, like, I'm so glad that they cast Jason Momoa as Aquaman, because I don't think the blonde hair, blue eye, like orange
Army
scales,
hammer.
Yeah, orange and
I don't think that
green
would have worked in this
leggings.
universe. They made him look like he had battle armor, like if he belonged in the movie 300. Like, he looked like...
Yeah, it's Khal Drogo. I'm
Yeah,
telling you.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's Khal
So,
Drogo
for me,
under the sea.
I never thought I would say this, but I'm like, my most anticipated movie of 2018 is probably going to be, Aquaman.
Yeah, after
gonna be
watching
close.
Justice League, I'll probably say the same thing.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just the trailer.
Right.
And I said the same thing about Batman. After watching Batman v Superman, I was like, I would definitely watch a Batman film. Mm-hmm. With Ben Affleck and all that. So yeah, I can definitely see why you would say that about
Yeah.
Jason Momoa. Yeah.
I mean, something we gotta discuss too, though, is, I mean, Wonder Woman, like, missing in this. She really didn't show up much in this trailer. And the thing that got me was when she like fell and she came up, her hair had to look good. Like, there was one scene where she came up, her hair had to look good, and she came up.
That's
and
Zack
I'm
Snyder,
like,
bro.
But I'm like, all right, you want to do women empowerment, and like Wonder Woman was, a monster. She was
a warrior.
beast. She's a warrior, right? I don't need to care how good she looks when she's coming off the ground.
Yeah.
Like, just show me her kicking some, butt. Like,
I think they didn't want to focus on her too much because
Yeah.
the Wonder Woman movie is coming out so
Yeah,
soon.
they wanted
I
to
think they
focus
were
on the
just
other
like,
league members.
look, you guys got your trailer, like literally like 2 weeks before. They're like,
Yeah.
you got your trailer, you've seen her fighting, you've seen her scene. So I think they were like, let's focus on Aquaman, like pretty much the characters we haven't seen.
Dude.
Which I really appreciate that they
You know, I
did
just
that.
realized too, for Aquaman, like, who are they going to have for Aqualad?
It's gonna be who are they gonna have?
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan. Yeah.
He's gonna
He's
go
crossing
from
over.
I just thought of that
Black
right
Panther
now.
to
He's crossing over.
Like, because they're probably going to introduce him too. And I'm sorry, but I just thought of that right
Yeah,
now.
just take us off topic. We're gonna end the podcast right here.
Yeah, we're done.
Let's beat up on this guy.
Yeah.
But I would say, okay, so we pretty much we talked about almost every scene in this trailer. So what would you guys say this overwhelmed you, underwhelmed you, was kind of like okay? Like, what would you rate this trailer like out of 10?
Out of 10, I would definitely give it an 8.5.
8.5?
The only reason why I'd give it an 8.5 is because I'm not fully sold yet on Justice League and the DCEU cinematic universe, just because of its track record. But it definitely made me more excited for the movie, especially watching Aquaman and Flash, Batman, seeing their scenes and all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, definitely 8.5 for me.
Yeah. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree. I think an 8.5 is appropriate. I'm not trying to copy you, but I think that's appropriate.
Give it 8.6.
Copycat.
I'll give it 8.6. Fine.
Stop looking at my paper.
I'm hovering. I think my excitement is built up. Before it was like a 6. I was just not really excited about this. I was looking more towards Aquaman. I was actually almost going to skip JLA. I was going to just go as a fan, just to be a fan, but not really excited for this movie. So an 8.6 to 9. Now I would probably say 8.6, 8.5.
Yeah.
You know, I'm more looking forward to what it builds, you know, what comes after this. I think it's going to do a really good job setting up. I think it does the opposite of what, you know, the Marvel universe did. I think this one is actually going to build the universe more than what the other origin stories of the other movies have done. So I think this one's giving me a little bit more excitement. So how about you, EJ?
Okay, as the resident DC fanboy of the group, I'm actually I'm actually gonna give it an 8. I'm actually just gonna give it an 8 because I got a little burned with Batman v Superman because those. I think we can all agree that Batman v Superman trailers were really good.
I was gonna say
except
that.
for the Doomsday one. The rest of the trailers, the Comic-Con trailer that came out for it was, like, for me, the best trailer of that year. So then I'm like, so this movie, we got that Comic-Con teaser, which was like 3 minutes long, felt like, and I really liked it because it showed a little bit, didn't show as much action, it showed a little bit, like, introducing a little bit of the characters, you know, who we're going to get. So I would definitely give this one an 8.
Yeah.
Justice League is going to be one of those movies where
Make or break.
it's going to make or break because Wonder Woman's coming out this summer, and if Wonder Woman, Wonder Woman has to be at least decent for the DCEU to keep going. I think the deal breaker is going to be Justice League.
Justice League
is going to be the movie that's either going to be like, all right, we can expand on this, or where they're going to be like, scrap it. Because Warner Brothers, they are a smart company. They're a smart studio. They're not going to be like, all right, let's just keep playing this out. Let's see where it goes. They're going to be like, cut the umbilical cord, let's start over. You know what I'm saying? So I would give this an 8 just because Zack Snyder, of course, he did music videos before. He knows how to make a 3-minute video look awesome.
He did The Watchmen, which is a really good movie.
I just hope that this movie does not just be like, I hope it just doesn't have great, like, moments. Like, it's like I want to be like, oh, that storyline was amazing. I don't want to be like, oh, that Batman scene where he kicked that parademon's ass? I don't want to be like, oh, that was my favorite scene, and then the movie sucked. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I want a great storyline, but as a trailer alone, I'll give it an 8. It was a good trailer, but let's see what the next couple trailers do, and don't give away that much.
And speaking of trailers, you know how we're talking about that, because we always talk about trailers too, and, you know, when I say Warner Brothers has a history, they know how to release good trailers. Example, Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
They released
Rhapsody.
Good trailers of that. And then when we saw the movie, it was a complete mess. It was garbage.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, Zack Snyder can set up the scenes perfectly, right?
Yeah.
Those visuals.
The visuals are always going to be on point.
Visuals, that's
what I'm saying with great fighting moments. There's going to be great fighting moments. Mm-hmm. No doubt about it. It's not going to be like TV quality, like Iron Fist fighting. This is going to be like
garbage.
Yeah, this is going to be like balls to the wall action.
Yeah.
But that's the problem. I don't want balls to the wall action. I don't want this to be like straight up like a John Wick where like a simple storyline, but the action was great. I want it to be a little bit of both.
I kind of want that.
I think it's, and again, let me clarify. I'm more of a DC fan than Marvel.
Yeah,
I just don't have this strong allegiance CJ does. But
we just lost my mom. That's all we got right now.
But you know, I don't foresee this having a heavy storyline already. I mean, with the Parademons and Steppenwolf, I just don't see the storyline there. I don't know if they're going to cut the cord after this because I think Aquaman's going to get the response that they want. I think if Aquaman tanks, then I think it's done. I think Aquaman's going to be like that safety net that they have right now.
Yeah, but which is like funny because it's like literally one of the weakest.
It doesn't have the following, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't have the following, which is crazy to think about.
It wasn't a huge fan favorite in the comics.
No. But look at Iron Man. I mean, I don't want to keep going back to Marvel, but Iron Man didn't either, and it did, you know, some of the best movies. So maybe Aquaman could be that like catalyst. You know, who knows? I don't know. But right now, it just seems like the biggest thing going is Aquaman right now. All three of us agree Aquaman just has this thing, has this character. It's the actors right, the costumes right, you know, everything seems to just click right now. So that gives us hope, you know.
Yeah. So I think overall we can all pretty much say that we like the trailer. The trailer was good. It was a good first trailer.
Yeah,
for me,
definitely.
It showed a little bit of action. It didn't show too much of the story, which is what we want. But at the end of the day, we want story.
Yeah, we want a good story.
But I would say we all liked it. But I think we could talk a little bit about the mess that is the DCEU.
The DCEU, the whole, the solo Batman film. Did you hear about Joe Manganiello saying that he doesn't even know now if he's still going to be in the movie because of the whole rewrite, the whole page 1 rewrite and all that stuff, and what's the guy's name?
Matt Reeves.
Matt Reeves is going to be directing the Batman film now.
It's a mess.
Ben Affleck went to rehab.
Yeah.
I mean, even Aquaman got pushed back. I mean, it's just the positives are just have some negative connotation pushed back. Like even the one thing we all are excited about, just again, Warner Brothers just misfiring and just not delivering.
Yeah, very true. I'm just like every week you hear something bad about, not bad, but you hear something going wrong with Warner Brothers and DC. They don't even, like, what was that one thing? They don't even have a director for Flash yet, and they just keep pushing that back.
Already 2 directors, screenwriters. Like, Flash is literally the one that I'm like, I think this is all the Flash we're gonna get in Justice League.
Yeah.
We're gonna only get this in Justice League.
Possibly Batman also.
Yeah.
Yep.
After the solo Batman film, like, I don't even know if Ben Affleck wants to come back.
Yeah.
No, I don't know if he's going. I don't know if they're gonna pull it together after all this production issues that they're having.
It's gonna be a tricky situation. I guess we could just see, dude, because it's gonna be. It's kind of sad that they can't get their shit together, because they are a smart studio. They put out great movies every year. We can all agree on that. They're not crap. They're not like, honestly, like, they're not Sony.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
They put out great movies all the time.
Yep.
But for some reason, they just can't get this DCEU right. I mean, I'm hoping that maybe they're just like. I'm hoping that they're just learning right now. This is a learning experience. You know what I'm saying? So maybe if they reboot it, which I'll kind of be happy about. Because I'd rather have a reboot. Yeah, a reboot, and they just maybe just like scrap it. They're like, let's start over. You know what I'm saying?
Is it too soon to reboot? I mean, and that's the thing. Like, who's learning and who's going to reboot? Like, how do you mess this up? And who's the leader here? Like, who is leading this?
Who's behind the wheel?
Who's behind the wheel?
Yeah.
Who's learning?
They don't have a Kevin Feige.
No, and they don't. And, who has this ultimate goal storyline? Like, who is driving this? And it just doesn't seem like someone has this.
Because they say Jeff Johns,
no,
and then they take it away.
And then they take it away.
And then the head of Warner Brothers is Kevin Tsujihara, and he's just like,
right,
Jeff Johns.
Like, somebody step in. Somebody step in and say, I got this.
Yeah.
You know? Are you going to get... Who are you going to get to direct Suicide Squad 2? Who cares about Suicide Squad 2, first of all? And, are you going to waste Mel Gibson on Suicide Squad 2?
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me?
Oh, yes, right. Mel Gibson was in talks for that.
Right.
And they actually just announced that. They said David S. Goyer was actually now in the running.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
honestly, I knew Mel Gibson wasn't going to do Suicide Squad 2.
I would love to see his take, though.
It'd be awesome.
It would be awesome. But why waste it on Suicide Squad 2? I can't even say it. It's so bad. I mean, like, put him on Batman. Like, give me an R-rated Batman movie with Mel Gibson.
Yeah. As Batman.
Or
Old Man Batman.
as Thomas Wayne, and reboot the whole series to Flashpoint and him being Thomas Wayne.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I love that.
I mean, we already know that, what's his name? Jeffrey Dean Morgan is Thomas Wayne. I mean, he's a good actor, too.
Yeah,
I mean, that'd be,
great actor.
He's a great actor.
He would be great.
Yeah.
In the Flashpoint Paradox?
Yeah, he'd be great as Thomas Wayne also. Just reboot with that and then come back with a new Batman and all that stuff. But it's like you said, who's going to, like, when do we reboot? Who's going to learn? That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be... Warner Brothers definitely has a tough road to catch up, to even catch up to Marvel.
To Phase 1 Marvel. Not even where Marvel's at now. Phase 1 Marvel.
Yeah, they need to...
The thing about Marvel is they did a good job building up to Infinity Wars and all that stuff with Thanos as the main villain. They did have some misses, with Thor 2 and all that stuff. Iron Man 2 and 3, terrible. But, I mean, at the end of the day, they're still doing good.
Yeah.
And Iron Man 3 missed, but it was still one of the highest grossing opening weekend movies. I think it was in the top 7 highest grossing opening weekend movies in history.
Yeah.
And that was Iron Man 3, which was panned by fans. So they're doing something right, even on the miss. What is DC doing? I mean, again, I'm a DC fan. Look at these classic characters. You cannot get a Superman movie